morning, everyone. My name is Pradava Singh. Today I'm going to talk about effect of enrofloxacin on Daniel Rerio and enrofloxacin removal by peroxy monosulfate, oxidation with bismuth manganese dioxide, with nickel foam under visible light. So we have 4 topics to talk today. I will start at introductions. I will tell you why I chose these topics to talk today. And Zebrafish testing is an explanation the effects of enrofloxacin on zebrafish. Third, enrofloxacin removal. We'll show you the entrant peroxy monosulfate with by photocatalyst. And the last one, conclusions. So enrofloxacin is widely used for veterinary clinics, and their studies show enrofloxacin is contaminated in surface water, polluted river, and water treatment plant. And their studies show enrofloxacin can induce anxiety-like behavior in zebrafish. Yeah, there are contamination of enrofloxacin and its effect to aquatic animals. In the opposite, we can prevent this. So today I will show you the solution that use peroxy monosulfate with photocatalyst. This is molecules of enrofloxacin. So enrofloxacin is used for positive and negative gram treatment. And yeah, when we talk about antibiotics, the topic we can't ignore it is antibiotic resistant bacteria, because this can harmful to human health. And yet it's caused by the bacteria is exposure with antibiotics, but is not enough dose to kill them. So they develop the genes to protect themselves from antibiotics. Daniel Rerio or zebrafish is widely used for toxicity testing. It's because it have more than 80% human-like disease genes. And you can see here, this embryo of zebrafish is transparent embryo. It's easy to observe the toxicity effects on the fetal or embryo. Zebrafish testing. There are 3 tests of zebrafish, but yeah, I got started at the fish preparations. Its preparation is let the fish exposure with enrofloxacin for 28 days. And the test, behavior observations. The observation is observe the fish movement in its concentrations. This is the light dark test. It is observe the response in the light and dark zones in the tanks. And this noise tank test is observe the movement at the vertical side in the tank. Gut microbiota estimation is the estimate by extract the gut microbiota and genomics. They collect the genomics DNA and use the research for identify taxonomic unit. And the last one, BDNF and NPY is the brain protein. BDNF is brain-derived neurotrophic factor and neuropeptide Y. They collect the brain tissue and estimate by the ELISA kit to quantify. Like that test, you can see at the control, the fish usually swim at in the light zone, but at high concentrations, it swim around. Yeah, but it's hard to decide what shake it or not. They convert it to the parameter. This parameter I show you is average NP durations and light total duration ratio. You can see at the high concentration of both graphs, it decreases with significance. So what does it mean? It means fish is stressing. Neural tank test. This test is clearly to see that at the high concentration, the fish is it swims more at the lower half of the tank. And the parameter is latency to upper half and transition to upper half. Yeah, latency to upper half, you can see that increasing at high concentration, and transition to upper half is decreasing at high concentration. Yeah, microbiota and FB ratio. There are many groups of gut microbiota, but we only focus in Firmicutes and Bacteroidetes. It's because two groups of bacteria is indicate the health of fish. So you can see in the FB ratio, at high concentration and low concentration, it decreases with significance. It's because enrofloxacin is ineffective to anaerobic bacteria. So Bacteroides is anaerobic bacteria. So after Zebrafish exposure with enrofloxacin, this group of bacteria is ineffective to them. It's only Firmicutes that decrease. That's why when calculated to FB ratio, it decreases. As I told you before, 214 is indicated about the stress, because when it produced, that means the body is respond to stress. And yeah, at high concentration of both protein is increasing. So for summarize, because there are many details for Zebrafish. After fish exposure with enrofloxacin, the gut microbiota is dysbiosis. So the Bacteroides produce lipopolysaccharides. This is inflammation. Is cause of inflammation in gut intestines. So when inflammations, the brain know that, so it's produced BDNF to respond it. And yeah, it shows in behavioral testings. Yeah. So yeah, when we know that effect of to aquatic animals, we have to prevent it. There are many ways to prevent it, physical process, biological process, but today I will introduce you chemical process. Sulfate radical adsorbent oxidation process is widely used for, but today I will enchant it with photocatalyst. And what is photocatalyst? Photocatalyst is the catalyst that need the light to activate. When it's activated, it can produce more radical. And yeah, the radical is reacts with organic pollutants. And yeah, material and experiment. The peroxymonosulfate with materialized manganese dioxide with nickel foam, and this is a catalyst we use. And they use enrofloxacin and mix it. After mix it and stir it without light for half an hour and stir at the light. For the analysis, these are three main analyzers: UV with spectrophotometer, high performance liquid chromatography, and mass spectro. The last one, total organic compound analyzer. So I collect the sample every half an hour and analyze. Luckily analyze till 3 hours. The result, you can see, as I told you, This is the catalyst, but without light, and it's with light. If received, can reduce enrofloxacin 87.5%. And the condition they use is a catalyst 4 square centimeter, enrofloxacin 10 microgram per liter, peroxymonosulfate 0.6 gram per liter at the pH 6.82 and temperature room temperature. But yeah, and which radical that effective in the system is can prove by use the radical scavenger. The third butanol can inhibit your hydroxyl radicals. So you can see when inhibited, the efficiency is decreases about 36.23%. Ethanol is inhibit two radicals, hydroxyl radical and sulfate radicals. It decreases to 37.34%. But you can see the difference of two values. I guess is the efficiency of sulfate radical, and the last one, chloroform, is inhibit superoxide. This one is a mechanism of reactions. So you can see there are many reactions that produce hydroxyl radical. But you can see the only one here. This is a superoxide radical. As I told you, enrofloxacin can reduce 87.5%, but total organic compound is decreased 53.2%. It's because the intermediate is left in the solution and is degrading. Recyclability. You can see is slightly decreased, and it's because the material leachings, heavy metals leachings. And yeah, this is a it's a kinetics constant. It's decreasing too, and yeah, it's the same reasons. For conclusions, enrofloxacin is cause of ascites-like behavior on zebrafish, where dysbiosis and dysbiosis is effect to the brain. Peroxymonosulfate with bismuth ferrite manganese dioxide as 3 and 1 ratio on a nickel phone can reduce 87.5% of enrofloxacin, and this can minorize enrofloxacin 53.2. And hydroxyl radical is the most effective in this system. Thank you.